founding convenings of Enlace, some of the founding meetings. And I was very lucky. And after that, after those convenings, after we began, Enlace and Peter in particular became a real source of support for me and for the organization as a whole. And and I know that this is actually probably very similar for some of your other organizations, but I think it's important to say, we used the Enlace plans and Peter's guidance. When I took maternity leave, we had an Enlace plan. When we had a special event, we had a system that came through the Enlace plan. When we had a crisis, the kind of crisis that, as I think a lot of you are organizers, where you want to give up, move to another state, move to another country, if possible, to, and start again. Peter and Enlace were the people that we would call, and I would definitely call and say, what can we do? And was the one who gave us the inspiration to say, well, you got to keep going. You will be able to get through this, and to be able to inspire us to move on to the next fight. So to whatever degree we were successful at the Workplace Project, we have to thank Peter for that. And to whatever degree we were not successful, entirely my fault for not taking his very good advice. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that Peter has been very much ahead of his time, and I think Enlace has continued to show this along the way. When we talk now about worker centers and unions, and I do a lot of work in that area, sort of that intersection, right? And I remember him telling me that worker centers actually were or are part of the broader labor movement, and that in another time, worker centers could affiliate with the AFL-CIO, right? Could create partnerships and work together. That, for me at that time, blew my mind. It had not occurred to me. It was not in the areas that I was thinking. But that was the kind of idea that came up far before any of our networks had actually formed affiliation agreements or taken that step to the partnerships that we now have and that are doing some of the best work, I think, in the broader labor movement. The other area, yes, one of applause for Peter, thank you. The other area that I would mention is also that he's far ahead of his time on the issue of immigration. So we, on Long Island, were fighting against anti-immigrant forces there, right? We had the Equality of Life people, we had Minutemen, we had crazy politicians who were extraordinarily anti-immigrant. And I would talk to Peter, and he would talk to me, we have to look at where this is coming from, and he would look at GEO and Corrections Corporation of America, and I was looking at, Steve Levy and the local issues, but has managed to take that, and it is great to see now that there is growing awareness of the importance and the role of the corrections corporations, but that idea, Enlace was working on that many years ago. So I really appreciate your work. I think, as I said, I want to say thank you for being all of our cuatro sabios at the same time, rolled into one. And thank you on behalf of not just me, but the broader labor movement.